Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Sumitomo Chemical India Limited Q2 and H1 FY23 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. From the management today, we have on the call Mr. Chetan Shah, Managing Director, Mr. Sushil Mafatia, Executive Director, Mr. Masanori Uzawa, Non-Executive Director, Mr. Suresh Ramachandran, Chief Commercial Officer, Mr. Kunal Mittal, Senior VP, Planning and Coordination Office, Mr. Praveen D. Desai, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, Mr. Anil Naval, Chief Financial Officer, and colleagues from SGA, the Investor Relations Advisors. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Chetan Shah, Managing Director of Sumitomo Chemical India Limited. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to the conference call to discuss the Q2 and H1 financial year 23 financial performance of the company, Sumitomo Chemical India Limited. First, kindly let me give you a brief overview of the agri-input industry landscape. The country overall received 7% more rains than the long-term average during 2022 June-September monsoon season. However, overall trends of monsoon spread was erratic. Several regions received less than normal rainfall, while some other regions received normal to abnormally surplus rainfall overall, and faced deficiency during the crucial sowing season. Across several districts in Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, sowing of Kharif crop was less than 75% due to deficiency in rains. Farmers in the eastern part of the country have lost one full season due to deficiency in rainfall during the ongoing Kharif season. However, the rainfall in September and October has helped in enhancing the soil moisture. Good soil moisture and water reservoir level augur well with the upcoming Rabi season. The income of farmers has grown in the range of 1.3 to 1.7 times, which is a very welcome sign. This is as per the State Bank of India's Economic Research Department, which augurs well for the Indian agrochemical industry as well. This has in turn led to higher share of agriculture in the country's GDP since March 2019. Apart from enabling policy push, the growth is also attributed to the changes in various nutritional and eating habits by the general public. Another growth driver was the steady increase of minimum support price, which are increasingly aligned with market-linked prices. The minimum support price have increased by 1.5 to 2.3 times, playing a pivotal role in ensuring better prices for farmers and leading to optimal price discovery. This has also encouraged farmers to gradually move over to crop varieties that they have better yield and value. For the Indian agrochemical industry per se, the higher placement of agrochemicals during the March and June quarter, coupled with slower on-ground activities led by uneven rainfall, resulted in lower liquidation of inventories, particularly in insecticide category. The industry is also likely to report a below-par performance for the July-September quarter this fiscal year, as uneven distribution of the monsoon impacted spraying activities due to lower pest infestation during the Kharif season. However, sales of herbicides and fungicides continue to do robust business. We as a company witnessed robust increase in sales of herbicides and better sales of branded generics last year as our active grassroots level marketing and activities continued to reap us maximum benefits. Despite agrochemical industry taking price hikes, falling raw material prices from July 22 onwards amid high cost carryover inventories may likely impact gross margins of Indian agrochemical companies. EBITDA margins for the industry are also likely to be under pressure due to lower gross margins and higher other expenses on account of higher advertisement and promotional expenses, as this being the first normal year of operations post COVID-19 restrictions. Working capital for the industry has remained stretched owing to higher cost inventory and slower receivables compared to last year. However, fortunately, in our case, due to constant two-way communication between our teams and channel partners and joint efforts, we were able to fully pass on the rising cost, and hence we could improve our margins against the overall industry trend. This gives us immense confidence in strengths of our brands, demand generation activities, and strong trusted relationship with our channel partners. While on export front, the Indian agrochemical industry has recorded robust growth and outlook remains we at Sumitomo also have achieved export growth of around 53% in H1 this year compared to last H1. During the overall situation during the financial year for agrochem industry looks positive, and we can only do better from this point of time. I will, with that note, request Mr. Anil Naval to take you through the consolidated financial performance of the company. However, before Anil Bhai you to take over, I would like to make one announcement that I'm sure everyone is eagerly awaiting the questions and answer session on the subject of the new notification that the government has just introduced regarding glyphosate to be sprayed only by pest control operators. What I intend to do is I would give you a small synopsis of what is going on prior to the question answer session begins, so that maybe you will have the automatic answers to your questions, or based on my note on the subject, you can ask specific questions to the points which I mentioned if required. Thank you. Over to you, Anil.
Thank you, sir. So, consolidated Q2 FY22-23 financial performance. We delivered strong top-line growth of about 23% in Q2 FY23 at rupees 1122 crores as compared to rupees 910 crores in Q2 FY22. The sales growth was primarily driven by impressive growth in herbicide segment and all-round robust growth in both domestic and export markets. We have witnessed sales growth on account of both volumetric growth and improvement in price realization. EBITDA came at rupees 278 crore in Q2 FY23, recording a jump of 30% as compared to rupees 215 crore in the same period last year. Operating leverage benefits kicked in, leading to improvement in EBITDA margin, which came at 24.8% in Q2 FY23, up by 121 basis point year on year as compared to 23.6% in Q2 FY22. Profit after tax stood at rupees 202 crore in Q2 FY23, up by 31% as compared to rupees 154 crore in the same quarter last year. PAT margin stood at 18%, up by 102 basis point year on year basis, with a 16.9% in Q2 FY22. Now coming to our consolidated performance for H1 FY22-23. Revenue from operation in H1 FY22-23 stood at rupees 2107 crore, up by about 25% as compared to rupees 1692 crore in H1 FY21-22. The share of exports in our total revenue has increased from rupees from about 15% in FY21-22 to about 19% in H1 FY22-23. This was on account of increase in export to Europe, North America, Southeast Asia, and increased shipment to our affiliate companies in Latin America. In H1 FY22-23, insecticide contributed about 41% of total revenue, while herbicide, plant growth regulator, and fungicides contributed about 27%, 10%, and 9% of total revenue respectively. EBITDA witnessed a growth of about 28% from rupees 365 crore in H1 FY21-22 to 466 crores in H1 FY22-23. Our EBITDA margin stood at 22.1% in H1 FY22-23 as compared to about 21.5% in same period last year. We were able to maintain and to some extent improve our operating margin as a result of our initiative to pass on higher input costs. This was further added on account of improvement in operating leverage, better product mix, cost optimization, and synergies. Profit after tax for H1 FY22-23 witnessed a jump of 31% to rupees 340 crore from rupees 260 crore last year. We maintained lower inventory level as compared to previous 2 quarters on back of smoothing of input supply chain channels and decrease in input cost. During H1 FY22-23, our collections were rupees 2131 crore as compared to rupees 1875 crore during H1 FY21-22. Our net working capital cycle stood at 94 days in H1 FY22-23 as compared to 72 days in H1 FY21-22, primarily due to sharp fall in the creditors days and elevated inventory levels. We have cash and cash equivalents aggregating to rupees 800 crore as on 30th September 22. I now request my colleague Dr. Suresh Ramchandran, Chief Commercial Officer of our company, to give more information on our business operations.
Thank you, Anil. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for taking time out to join this call today. During last year, we have taken various strategic initiatives to strengthen our business fundamentals, such as expanding our strategic marketing team, demand generation team, product development team, and channel partner analytics teams. And we are also focusing on implementing higher discipline across our commercial policies. Currently, we have about 200 brands spanning the entire value chain of agrochemicals, including more than 20 mega brands that have a high level of brand recall. With over 16,000 direct distributors and more than 60 depots and warehouses located all over the country, we have one of the most extensive distribution networks to reach different parts of the country. Price increases were a major contributor to the expansion of our domestic agro solution business. Both volume and price increases contributed significantly to our expansion in the animal nutrition and environmental health markets. As a result of both price and volume increases, exports grew nicely. We have also established long-term footholds in a number of export markets. Our sales to Latin American and African countries expanded in H1. Some of our products have been approved for registration, and these are the ones on which we are seeing strongest demand. As a result, they give us solid foundation on which to expand our future export business. The demand for our insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, and PGR products continue to be strong. We anticipate taking market share from unorganized players thanks to our well-established supply chain and recognizable brand names, apart from the reach to different parts of the country. Herbicides, PGR, and biorational products are 3 segments where we expect to see the most growth, stability, and profit. To lessen the impact of seasonality on the company, we have expanded our product offerings for both Kharif and Rabi crops and intend to increase contribution from the PGR segment. We are planning some new product launches in this segment where we expect to continue to grow as one of the leaders. In H1 FY23, we have launched 8 new products across all categories, about 3 insecticides, 3 PGRs, 1 metal phosphide, and 1 fungicide. There are plans to launch few more products in the upcoming Rabi season. As an ongoing process, we continuously take stock of the gaps in our product portfolio and strive to fill in the gap. Our newly launched 9(3) registration products have been accepted well by the channel and end users and recorded sales in Q2. Our continuous focus in the coming period is to grow these new products in a robust manner. These new products were launched successfully to the channel partners and farmers in physical meetings as well as through many digital meetings in first half of the current year across different geographies of the country. Through our extensive field promotion activities, we are able to connect directly with the farmers, facilitating their access to best farm management practices that will allow them to maximize productivity and run more efficient agribusiness. We can strengthen our connection with our farmers, learn about their needs immediately, and grow as a company thanks to the real-time feedback. Around 4.41 million farmers and 31,000 partners, direct and indirect channel partners, were directly reached out by us. In addition, we have developed digital marketing as a parallel support, or I should say strengthen our digital marketing as a parallel support traditional marketing system in order to raise consumers' level of product awareness and educate farmers on most of the effective farm management practices. Our digital assets include 23 websites and various social media platforms through which we have generated approximately 17 million digital engagements. With that, I will hand over to Kunal to take us through an update on CapEx projects.
Good afternoon, everyone. In financial year 2021, we had disclosed plans to undertake two Make in India projects with an additional capital expenditure of approximately 1.2 billion INR, which is about 120 crore Indian rupees. And the objective is to produce 5 SCC's proprietary products for our parent company and our affiliates all over the world. This was additional capex in addition to our normal capital expenditure, which we do for maintenance and capacity enhancement in our existing products. In terms of the timelines, the projects are on track. One project at our Bhavnagar for a very important global proprietary product has begun commercial production just recently, and we are expecting revenues from this product coming in the second half of the year and full revenues coming in the next year. The second project, which is being implemented at our Tarapur site, involves multiple products for our parent company, is expected to begin commercial production in the first quarter of next financial year 2023-2024. These two projects are executed at our existing facilities, and the estimated operating margins from these products are comparable to the margin which our company is earning on similar projects. As the global demand for these products increases in future, we have potential to expand the capacities for these products in the future. In addition, several additional products are being discussed with our parent company and global affiliates as part of the Make in India initiative, and some of these products we are expecting to manufacture in India, depending upon various discussions which are currently ongoing. Once the projects and products have been selected, finalized, and approved by our board, we will provide you more information, more specific information regarding some of these projects and our capex plan for these projects. In addition to that, our R&D team in India is continuously engaged in developing processes and getting ready to produce several off-patent products and some of the pre-mixture combination products for the Indian market and also for the global exports market, which also includes some of the high growth regions such as Latin America, Africa, and Asia Pacific regions these products are targeted towards. With this, now I request our Managing Director, Mr. Chetan Shah, to give a brief comments on a very important point which he highlighted, and after that we will open the line for question and answers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on 25th of October, the Government of India decided to give us a Diwali gift by way of introducing a notification that the glyphosate, one of the important products of ours, and also the product which is globally used as the largest consuming or largest selling product in the world. So what is this notification? So my first positive point about this notification is that there is no ban on glyphosate. As you may be aware that glyphosate was always under the hanging sword, whether it will get banned, whether it will not get banned. whether we'll have to defend it, etc., etc. So one thing is very clear that the government authorities have seen the importance of the product to the farmers, and they have only restricted the mode of usage as to how it can be used in the fields. So there is no ban. The only restriction is that the usage of this product has to be done by pest control operator. Now, of course, there are questions, especially in the very initial stages. Even we had questions in our minds that how and what will happen. But as 5 days of, this is the 5th day of the notification, we are also much at ease in mind, and we see a lot of possibilities to ensure that our glyphosate sales are not affected. Having said that, I would like some statistics of what is our glyphosate situation for the year which we are discussing, that is H1 22-23, which we are discussing now. What has happened to glyphosate in that period? So, number one, our domestic sales of glyphosate by way of volumes or quantities have come down by 40% as compared to the previous year. So whatever result we are seeing today is after taking into account 40% drop in glyphosate volume in any case. The second important thing that has happened is that in the same H1 of this current year, our export of glyphosate has increased by 451% as compared to the same period last year. The third important point is that H2, which we are talking about Rabi season, H2 is the period for glyphosate for export market, because every single year in H2 our export of glyphosate all over the world is the maximum. So these are the three important points that we need to keep in mind when we are talking about H1 of this year vis-a-vis glyphosate. I also see many opportunities, new opportunities that will come up because of this notification. One being very clearly, maybe we can offer a value-added solution to the farmers for our brands. We can have like many companies are doing sprayers and drones and things like that. Maybe we can have a value-added service given to farmers by way of making an infrastructure of our field staff to become a pest control operator, which is a very, very possible thing to do. Of course, all these things take time. Our main grievance on this notification is that government has not considered giving any time to implement what they intend to implement. And the implementation cannot be done overnight as what they are saying, because there is no infrastructure available to an extent it is required. Of course, there is an infrastructure available, but not to an extent that it is required. So we have now 3 to 6 months to develop this. At the same time, we will request the government authorities to give us more time. How much that will fructify, only the time can say. But I don't think that as of today we feel that given the glyphosate circumstances of H1 and what we can do and what we can prepare for, I don't see any problem in maintaining our glyphosate situation. I read some article or some message where also it was suggested that the farmers will make their own arrangements of either getting the certified sprayers or PCOs or whatever, but farmers need this product because it is so economical for them and so important to them that they are not going to give up on this product. And there is no replacement of this product, glyphosate, by any other product that is likely to be available in the market. The way glyphosate can work, no other product can work. So farmers are going to find their ways and means to use this product within the legal framework of the notification. If you have seen the notification, you will see there is a remark that because of health hazard, the government has decided that it can be used only by PCOs. Now, this is a little bit, in our opinion, it is a little bit ill-founded logic, because till date, the glyphosate is used here for last 40-50 years. Till date, there is not a single incident which has come to the light that glyphosate has created any hazards in the health and safety of either the manufacturer or the user. So, this is one point which maybe government wanted to take. Under this umbrella, they wanted to do something. It looks like that. But even globally, as of today, in last 1 year, we have seen that so many countries have openly supported glyphosate. They have openly announced that glyphosate does not cause any carcinogenicity and that it is safe to use. There, as you may know, and many cases, only recently they have won the 5th consecutive case against them on glyphosate poisoning. So even the courts are now believing that on the scientific data provided by the companies that glyphosate is not harmful. But this I am just giving a note to you as an information, because you are a stakeholder, you are part of our company. You should also not feel that we are manufacturing a product which is harmful to human beings. And that is my only purpose of giving this, example of other countries and Bayer winning the case. So, having said that, I think I have clarified or touched upon certain points of this notification, and I have also told you that we are confident that we will see to it how to come out of this situation. So, if you have any questions in question and answer sessions, if there is anything new other than what I have said, I will be very happy to answer. Thank you. So, open the question and answer session, please.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Participants who wish to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. Participants who wish to remove yourself from the question queue may press star and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We have the first question from the line of Abhinav Chandak from Ratnabali Investment Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking my question, and congratulations on a good set of numbers. Sir, I had one clarity to ask on this whole glyphosate thing. So in terms of our sale, we will continue to sell glyphosate through the channels that we have been selling, or the notification has to be read that we can only sell it to PCOs? How will the sale process happen?
Well, we have read the notification. I don't know how the state government or what they will do, but the notification is very clear that it should be sprayed by the pest control operator. So we expect that the sales to the trade or the dealers network will continue to happen, and the farmers will be allowed to purchase from these points. It is impossible that pest control operators will buy the glyphosate from the companies, stock it, and then they will operate. The point of the notification is that it has to be sprayed by the pest control operator. It doesn't talk anything about buying or selling by pest control operator.
Correct.
So we are very clear that the notification is only as far as the usage of glyphosate is concerned, has to be done by pest control operator.
Okay. So now,
Distribution channel in terms of taking the products from our factories or from warehouses to the end user areas where this needs to be used. Even for that, we have established network, and we are not sure whether this pest control operators will, as Shashan mentioned, in terms of warehousing, where logistically moving these products to the farm and those kind of infrastructure.
okay. So now coming to business, so recently I have noticed over the last 3-4 years, our margins have expanded significantly, whereas our generic to proprietary or specialty product ratio has remained stable at 70-30. With the intent to move more towards specialty, at what margin levels should you be comfortable maintaining for the company in the long run?
With our sales expanding, if we can maintain the margins at current level, the overall profitability will be much better. But that, whether we can maintain or not, whether we can go higher or not, that all depends on the seasonal conditions, market conditions, and the situation of competition.
Okay. So now my last question. So recently we have received a few approvals for a few products from our Tarapur plant, that is for pyriproxyfen, dimethyltrin, and one more product. Could you just elaborate on these products? What could be the margins? What could be the revenue potential? What kind of products are these?
These are mainly pyriproxyfen is of course an insecticide, which we have a very strong brand of. And also we are developing certain combination brands along with pyriproxyfen. So that is one insecticide. We are also expanding the capacity of our pentropentrin over there in the same plant, which is meant for export as well as domestic market. And then there are 4 other products which we are going to manufacture there, which are basically proprietary products of household division of Sumitomo Japan. So these products will be manufactured and exported all over the world.
Okay. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question on the line of Dinesh Pathak from White Oak Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, sir. So you mentioned in your remarks that for 1H of this year, domestic volumes are down 40%. But can you also share that of the total volumes of what percentage is domestic and what percentage is export? And why are domestic volumes down 40% this year?
So the domestic volume is down 40% purely because of climatic conditions. This year what happened, normally we receive pre-monsoon showers. Now when pre-monsoon showers come down, the germination of wheat starts. This year there was a total lack of pre-monsoon showers. So the glyphosate demand did not pick up as late as in the month of June end. And otherwise it starts from April onwards. That was the main reason. And the second reason was continuous lack of rain during the month of June and July. And then very, very high amount of rain in the month of August and September. So climatic conditions really gave a push down to glyphosate as a molecule.
And of your total volumes that you sell in a year, roughly what percentage would you be selling in domestic and what percentage would be export of glyphosate?
So domestic is very large, of course, very, very, very large. So even though when I say that we have exported 451% more glyphosate in the first half as compared to the previous half, still the overall value of that export would be, let me see, around 54 crores. So if it is...
So roughly domestic is 90% and export is 10% of the glyphosate.
No, now the second half will be majority of exports.
85% is domestic, 18% is local.
Yeah, so 85%, the ratio if you are looking at it is 15%, which may go up to 17% this year, but otherwise it is 85% domestic, 15% export.
Okay. In a normal year, for a full year basis, 85% is domestic and 15 is. And this 40% decline in domestic this year, is it also because the base is very high for last year? Is that also the case?
Sorry, can you please?
This decline
Yeah.
we are seeing, is it also because of the base effect that last year we did a very good season of glyphosate? Is it also the reason?
No, it wasn't. I think it was, some impact what we saw was that the prices of glyphosate had gone up tremendously during this year. So, I mean, if you compare the base of the price level the previous year and this year, there was a huge difference. So, while we, in our experience or what we saw in the market, while the farmer was not, not disturbed to use glyphosate even at a higher price, it was mainly the trade who were scared to take a position on glyphosate. So maybe some sales, small percentage of sales dropped because of traders or the trade not taking the position. But majority of the sales drop is only because of seasonal conditions.
Okay, so one last question on glyphosate. This the revenue, the mix you have given on revenue and volume, but in terms of profitability, is glyphosate a more profitable product versus your overall portfolio? It is in line with company average, or it's lower versus company average?
It is lower than the company average. In a normal year, the glyphosate gives us a gross margin of 25%. Last year, it has given us a little higher percentage, and this year, that percentage is 27.5%.
At gross margin level?
At gross margin level.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Sudarshan Padmanabhan from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. So my question is on the implementation of the government, notification. One is, as you mentioned, there is no infrastructure in place. So, I mean, is the onus to develop infrastructure, in the hands of the farmers or companies like you? I mean, I'm a little confused with respect to, what is the qualification required for a PCO, where they require training, and how fast, they can come up to speed as far as implementation.
So, the PCO license is a very simple procedure. There is already a system in place. They give the training for 3 months. You can go to university 15 days. 15 days. Now the training period is 15 days. You can go to the university.
There are 3 institutes in India who are authorized to train PCOs.
Yeah. So the training is for a period of 15 days. The fees are very small, and you can create infrastructure. As I say, we have 3 to 6 months to create this infrastructure, and I think we are good with that. Of course, I cannot say that there will be zero impact, but things are new. That can be 30 days plus minus. It can happen. Maybe we will not take a decision for next 15 days to 30 days to even have a position on raw materials of this glyphosate for the production. But once we do this, our exercise is in 15, 20 days, 30 days, then we are back to normal. Absolutely.
Sure. So my second question is, taking cues from the previous participant. I mean, this is clearly, a lower margin business compared to our, other businesses. If you look at, our sister concern, I mean, products like Decade is there. I mean, it is also a powerful, herbicide and can be, probably it might not be apple-to-apple comparison, but could be, relatively used if the excess use is kind of restricted. So from that purpose, I mean.
No, I'm sorry. Which product you mentioned? I couldn't hear that. Sorry?
Decade. DIQUAT. Decade. It's basically, from New Farm.
From New Farm. You're talking about 2,4-D probably. Are you talking about?
Yes.
You talking
Yes,
about
yes. That's clear.
lesser glyphosate.
No.
Yes.
So that's no for products.
So in our understanding, the applications are very different, very comparable.
And the weed spectrum of 2,4-D is also different compared to glyphosate.
Sure. So there will not be any product which is there in our basket which will have higher margins which we can replace it for excess use of glyphosate.
Oh, we have a specialty product in our portfolio, which we are selling as of today. But it's a very highly specialized product, very expensive. It cannot match the economics of glyphosate. But we already are selling that product and expanding the sales of that product. So we already have one product in our basket.
Sure, sir. Decate is Regulon, by the way, REGLON.
Not
That's the product I'm expecting.
Not 2,4-D. It is flumioxazin.
Not yes. Sure, that's largely fine. Thanks for that.
Okay, maybe. Mike, we can take the next question.
Sure. We have the next question on the line of Ankur Periwal from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thanks for the opportunity and congrats for good numbers. Just continuing with glyphosate, you did mention H1 of this financial year witnessed a significant, growth in the exports. Any specific reason here, or is it largely the global network benefiting us? And if this is more sustainable, and how?
Yeah, we got the registration of MERA 71, which is one of the brands of glyphosate in Sudan, and we could sell very good quantities over there. So that is a good market for us, and we are looking forward to expanding that market.
Also, I think typically in the previous year, in the first half, because the volumes in the domestic market is so high, so our entire focus was to supply the product in domestic market. And this year, because the volume so it is down as compared to previous years, so we had additional capacities and volumes to be supplied to export market also.
Sure. And continuing with the same logic, if there will be a restricted supply in the domestic market, and as you mentioned, H2 is slightly heavy on the export side for glyphosate, then the entire capacity, or at least most of the capacity, can be compensated from exports here.
Yes. So in the second half, typically what we do is we can cater to export market, plus say at least 2 to 3 months, we also make ourselves ready for the Kharif season, ensuing Kharif season, to keep the stocks, because such large volumes we cannot move within short period of time. So we prepone our manufacturing of glyphosate brands for domestic market from the month of February.
Sure.
And delta is so high, say 85% versus 15%, so I don't think it will be possible to cover it up fully within a very short period of time, but best efforts will be taken from our side. So what you mentioned, that can we replace the entire domestic loss by export, that may not be possible immediate basis. That will be over a period, maybe we have to try.
But we are not, as of today, on 25th October, I cannot say that I would have said the same thing. But on 31st, I am saying that we don't see much of a challenge to maintain our numbers of glyphosate in domestic market as well.
Sure, sir. And will it be fair to assume that margins, whether in domestic or export, the product will be earning the similar margins in both the markets?
No, domestic market margin will be better than the export market by few percentage points.
Yeah, but it will be in a similar line of what we
Yeah.
are. It will be in a similar line.
Sure. And just secondly, on the pricing front, the RM inflation you mentioned is still slightly elevated. And your thoughts on the competitive intensity here, given that historically over the last few years we have been pretty aggressive in terms of passing through all the RM inflation, probably at the cost of volume growth as well. But how do you see the competitive intensity, and whether the competition is also taking as aggressive stance on the RM inflation pass through?
Well, I think everybody will, if they want to maintain the margin, they will have to be aggressive on this front. We have seen some companies doing it, some companies not able to do it, but we are very clear, and we have given a very clear communication to our team as well as channel partners that this has to be in the manner in which the raw material prices move. So even if the raw material prices come down, we are willing to drop the prices. We don't want to take undue advantage of the pricing levels with the farmers or with the trade at all. But we want to maintain our profitability, our margins, our volumes. We have to see that even at higher freight price, we don't drop the volumes.
Sure, sir. That's helpful. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Chintan Modi from Haitong Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my first question is with respect to the 800 crores of cash that we have in books now, and which may probably go up further by the year end. So if you could highlight some on how do we plan to use this cash, and also in this context, we have bought 2 large land parcels also. So if you could highlight some of your long-term capex plans, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure. I think being in this position is definitely advantageous, not only for the future capex, but also for running of our day-to-day business. I mean, we can leverage the raw materials inventories in a much more effective manner as compared to competition because of this advantage. And of course, our ultimate plan is to use this surplus funds in expanding the production activities. So as you rightly said, we are now, after we finish our Tarapur expansion in the first quarter of 23-24, we are already on the drawing board as far as the products to be manufactured at the edge is concerned, and we will take up that once this expansion of Tarapur plant gets over. So I think you can expect that from 23-24 that activity will start, and in 25-26 we'll see that quite a major chunk of investment will be made in the new facilities in the edge. Also, we are talking about Bhavnagar land parcel, which we intend to use to expand any of the plants at Bhavnagar today, where we will have to increase the capacities, like say, for example, tebuconazole. If our global demand of tebuconazole, because of the new launch of a combination product with the proprietary product of Sumitomo, Japan, if that kicks off well, the demand is going to be double than what we are able to manufacture today. So we are also going to keep that land parcel free for expanding tebuconazole capacities.
Okay. So at least we can assume that your capex aggression will increase going ahead compared to what we have seen in last few years.
Absolutely.
Okay. Secondly, with respect to glyphosate, can you highlight what is the size of market in India? And secondly, I believe that this notification is also to do with judicious use of the product by the farmers in order to control this. Do you think this market can shrink?
So this glyphosate molecule is about 1100 to 1200 crores at the ex-company level. Right? At the farmer level, it will be maybe another 30-40% more than that. See, this whole new development is based on safety, health concerns, as Mr. Chetan Shah said at the beginning, which was ill-founded, and the government has taken a decision with this notification. But glyphosate is such an important molecule for the farming community to control the weeds, which is expanding year on year due to various reasons. We'll definitely find a way, and the government will also cooperate to establish the infrastructure to enable spraying of this molecule. So there won't be any shrinkage. Probably there could be a temporary setback for next 30 days or 60 days, but overall this molecule will be normal in the coming months and years.
Okay. And one last question from my end. this 40% decline that you mentioned in volumes for glyphosate, and despite that, if you look at the overall domestic sales, have grown at a decent pace. So could you highlight which are the products which could have kind of replaced or offset that impact, negative impact?
See, the growth was mainly on account of two reasons. One is a good price increase across the portfolio and major volume increase in many of the insecticides as well as herbicides. All these portfolios, volume and price growth together across the portfolio has given us this overall growth.
And just to clarify, even on the glyphosate, while the volumes are down, but the overall amount-wise, there is not so much of a negative impact.
That is only because of the pricing.
Right. Yeah.
No, but also another important point is that whatever growth we are seeing, in spite of glyphosate being down, those products are not replacement of glyphosate. The glyphosate didn't do well because of, as I said, because of climatic conditions. But the other products or other pockets or other areas where we could increase our sales of other products. That is why you are seeing the sales growth in spite of glyphosate being down.
Okay, sure. And just one last, if you may permit. In Latin America, our sales were a little slow this quarter, like about 8% growth, I believe. Any specific reason for that? And do you expect the growth rate to increase going ahead?
As a matter of fact, we have increased our Latin America exports this first half of this year by 49%.
I'm talking about this particular quarter. First quarter growth was good.
So, yes, I think we have heard the news what you mentioned that recently, I would not say the quarter, but maybe last 1 or 2 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, we have started seeing some report that yes, there is some little bit of a slowdown in Latin America. But so far, whatever our products are, we are not seeing any impact. Even the orders and everything which we have, we are not seeing any immediate impact as such in the second half. And maybe we have Ujjawa-san on the call from our side, and he's from our parent company, actually. So Ujjawa-san, if you have any more intel or information about the Latin America market overall growth, if you want to add anything?
Hello?
Yes. This is Martin speaking. As you can imagine, the demand in that region is very strong. And then, particularly in this fiscal year, especially the first half of this fiscal year, the appetite of purchasing inputs by growers in that region was so strong. So that was the part of the reason why we can drive our exports to that region. So probably the strength of that kind of demand could be milder than the current very strong situation. However, we are pretty much positive and then confident about the future sustainable growth in that region. That will be of strong help for our export growth as well.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Mohan?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question on the line of Swati Hiru from Ratnavali Investment. Please go ahead.
Firstly, congratulations on yet another great quarter. So my first question is that because of this particular order, what kind of an incremental expense will a farmer have to bear? Because I've recently read somewhere that the plantation industry has already asked for some sort of an exemption thing because of affordability issues.
Yes, we have also heard that tea plantation people have asked for exemption, and they are going to represent also to the Ministry of Commerce on the subject. See, the spraying cost by the farmer, which if you count,
varies from 300 to 500 rupees.
300 rupees to 500 rupees per hectare, even in case of if they hire, say, the assistants or they hire somebody to spray their field, they spend anything between 300 to 500 rupees per acre. So I think that I don't think that the cost is going to go up more than what they are already spending.
The second point is some farmers spray their own field. They don't engage laborers. If they are engaging laborers, the cost may not increase significantly. If they are spraying on their own, if they have to hire a PCO, for example, then their cost would go up.
Yeah. So that is where I also say that there is an opportunity to give a value-added service to farmers.
My second question is around this biorational business that Sumitomo Japan has a lot of focus on. So what kind of a market share do we have in that business globally in India? What role is Sumitomo India potentially going to play in that?
Well, yes, India is a very important market for this biorational dream of Sumitomo, and we are constantly discussing with them. This biorational come from mostly from USA, from their Valent Bioscience, which is the subsidiary of Sumitomo Chemical Japan. And we are in constant discussion with them to introduce newer products. We have, as of today, we have lined up 3 products which we would like to register over here. The work for which has already begun. As you know that now these products are going to be registered by under Fertilizers Act, and we have some minimum requirement of data to be submitted, which we are already in the process of generating. And so these products will come in as a matter of fact will come in or can come in quicker than the registration process of insecticides or plant growth regulators, or which is covered under the Insecticide Act. But now that the government has very clearly bifurcated that this product should be registered under Fertilizers Act, these biorationals, it is much quicker. So we are already we have narrowed down 3 such products. The bioefficacy work and the field trials, everything is completed. We have fantastic results on these studies, and I think we should be introducing them in 2024.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have the next question on the line of Amit Thawani, an individual investor. Please go ahead. Mr. Amit Thawani, can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you for taking my question. My first question is that the stance of the government is rather confusing in the sense that in October, we had GM mustard which was approved, and they also had, I don't know what stage it is, but I think they kind of also gave implicit approval of HTBT cotton. If I'm not wrong, HTBT cotton is basically has to be used with glyphosate. So if the government wanted to reduce the consumption of glyphosate, why would they legalize HTBT cotton?
I don't think that the intention of government by this notification is to reduce the usage of glyphosate. What they are only saying is use whatever glyphosate you want to use, but get it sprayed by a certified pest control operator. So you are right, if HTBT cotton is approved, then of course the glyphosate usage has to be there.
Correct. Isn't that correct? I mean, you have to, the usage of glyphosate would go up in the country if that happens, right?
Yes.
Right. Logically, yes.
So this is quite a confusing notification. And the other thing is that is it like the government is scared of some Yavatmal kind of incident happening again? So they want to just put their hands up and blame the state machinery that you did not implement our notification. That this was not supposed to be.
I don't think so, because see, we have not seen any adverse report on glyphosate. I mean, Maharashtra itself is one of the largest consumers of glyphosate, and there is no report at all of any harmful effect of glyphosate anywhere in Maharashtra. Gujarat is another state where the usage is high.
But we did have the Yavatmal incident, right? That the Yavatmal incident where 60 farmers died.
That was not glyphosate, that was a completely different product.
Okay. I'm very sorry about that. The second point is that, HTBP cotton illegally is being used abundantly in this country even today, and it's not even legal. So, stopping a product which can be legally sold like glyphosate, how are they going to implement this pest control notification when they can't do the illegal sale of an illegal seed?
Yeah, you are right. There are certain, this type of questions are very, very logical, and one would wonder as to if you are going to allow this seed, then why put this restriction? But you and me cannot control what government is thinking and how they will pan out the notifications or how they will pan out the policies. But I think somewhere down the channel or somewhere down the tunnel, this light will be seen, and maybe something will come out. Maybe another thing that will come out is there will be n number of youths in the villages and all these rural areas will be in lakhs of numbers. They will become official pest control operators.
With regard to HTBT cotton, that is governed by Ministry of Environment and Forest, whereas this is governed by Ministry of Agriculture, and probably they will start coordinating now.
Yeah.
Okay. And coming to the point that you made, on every individual, a lot of individuals in villages wanting to become, pest control licensees. I was reading that you need to be a graduate in agriculture to get that license, and you need 15 days training, etc. Is that too much of a speed bump, or do you think that a lot of people are graduates in agriculture? And
no, they need not be graduate in agriculture. Currently, it is saying they have to be graduate in chemistry. Okay, but definitely, there would be discussions. Probably there would be relaxations of this even chemistry graduate requirement for PCO license. As per the Act, it says graduate in chemistry.
Graduate in chemistry is a responsible person.
Not every. The license would be given to that person.
So license, when you take a license as a company, you have to have a graduate in chemistry on your payroll. But say a sprayer or the person who goes to the house to spray, he is not a graduate. So the company needs a graduate, but not the sprayer. That is what the understanding of the Act is.
That is one. Second thing is not agriculture.
Yeah,
chemistry, which is more prevalent.
Understood. Thank you for clearing all that out. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have the next question on the line of Bhavya Gandhi from Dalal & Broacha Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand that glyphosate is banned in few countries outside India and few states also in India. So over there, what is the product which is being used by farmers on ground level to remove weeds or maybe herbicides? And
so see, the thing is that wherever it is banned in our country, in some states where, like for Punjab, now they say that we have no use for glyphosate. Now the same state has come to us and because we are also in rodenticide business. So Punjab government has approached us saying that the rat population in our state has gone up so drastically up. Can you help us? Now, the reason for rat population going up is because they are not spraying the herbicide, glyphosate, in the periphery of the field where the weeds do germinate. It's not a crop area, but around the field itself there are so many weeds, and that is a home to rats. So the population is bound to go up. So they may say that we don't have any field usage for glyphosate. That could be correct, but what about the periphery? What about the other areas where the crops is not grown, non-crop areas? You can't have weeds lying around, right?
Right.
So there are problems like this, and other countries, you know the Sri Lanka story very well. Sri Lanka banned glyphosate, the whole economy collapsed, the tea industry collapsed, the rubber industry collapsed, and they have to get back again to say that okay, you can spray glyphosate in rubber and tea with a government license. So these type of knee-jerk reactions always it results into some terrible situation, and then the government has to come back and think that yes, this is what is required to be done.
Okay. And sir, is glufosinate a substitute by any means? Because that is what being flagged everywhere.
No, not as it cannot substitute glyphosate in all the weed spectrum that glyphosate is used for. So it is not a direct replacement. There are many herbicides available in the market, including glufosinate, then your 2,4-D, then these are old 2,4-D and paraquat are also old herbicides, but they cannot match the effectiveness and the pricing of glyphosate.
Hello?
It cannot control the entire spectrum.
I'm not able to hear you. Hello?
Of which glyphosate can control.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Mr. Bhavya Gandhi?
Also wanted to know, like this glyphosate is sprayed on tea, rubber plantations. So can you provide some mix, like what would be the mix for tea plantation and rubber plantation and so on?
No, I wouldn't have that data as of, ratio. How much tea has to be large, but sorry, offhand, I don't have these figures.
Okay. And sir, do we see this as a very big hiccup going forward? Because now government stands about having, PCO, maybe, restricting older molecules or, sort of older compounds. Do you think that this will affect other products in our portfolio basket? Maybe early assessment at your end?
No, the entire industry on this notification is together only because of the fear that if this can happen to glyphosate, it can happen to any other product. And nobody wants that because that will be too cumbersome. If they bring in more and more products under this, then it will be even more cumbersome. Now this is a single product. We are trying to find a way out. We are trying to see how it can be done. It is, one molecule. Probably we'll be able to handle. Not probably, we are sure we'll be able to handle. But I think if more and more such things, if they come on, it is going to disturb the industry.
Right. And sir, talking about the PCO license, what would be the average cost for it? Can our dealers become PCO sort of? They can take the license and maybe go and sprinkle it on behalf of farmers. Is it possible, or is it like?
Yeah, that is possible. It is not. It is not an expensive fee.
Not an expensive proposition. Yes,
not very expensive, right? Because I think if they are, taking this stance for one product, maybe they want to increase for other products as well, maybe going forward. That is just a speculation that we can maybe, sort of. And also talking about this new product turnover, going forward, is it possible to mention in the investor presentation, like what is the turnover from the newer products that we've introduced, so that we can get a gist of how the new products are moving in the market?
So see, the reason why we are not mentioning this quarter to quarter is generally on the investor calls, and whenever we have this, that time we provide this information.
For this quarter, is it possible, sir, like what is the new product contribution to the overall sales?
I think it's about 30 crores. Yeah, so we do not have this information right now handy. So whenever, I think in the next time onwards, we will see if we can provide this information.
Sure. That's really helpful. Thank you so much. I'll get back in the queue.